Hi guys, it's David here from Right On Resources, and today we're going to be taking a look at the functional skills qualification, and specifically we're going to be thinking about how to understand grammar, specifically focusing on conjunctions, adjectives, and when to use a capital letter. Now this video has been designed for anyone studying any level of the functional skills qualification. It's really important that we go over the key grammatical terms and that you know how to use these when you come and attempt your writing assessment. So first of all, why is grammar important? So grammar can help us in the following ways. So the first thing we need to think about is that it can help people to comprehend what you are saying. And what we mean by that is that it makes your writing flow and it makes it a bit easier for us to understand what you're trying to say. It improves communication. If you haven't used the appropriate grammar in your writing, then you're not getting your message clearly across to your audience. It makes your writing appear more professional. Now, a key element of the functional skills qualification is to help you be prepared to pursue your career or chosen course, and in order to do that, you need to make sure that you're able to write in a professional manner. And the last one, it will make your academic writing more successful. So if you're thinking about going on to study functional skills level 2 or GCSE English or even higher up than that, then you'll need to make sure that your grammar is something that you work on and improve over time so that your academic writing is successful. So capital letters, this is the first one we're going to look at. So when should we use these in our writing? So below is going to be the main reasons why we use a capital letter. So the first one is you capitalize the first word of every sentence. So that is really important. Once you've used a full stop, the next word that comes needs to have a capital letter. And that happens every time you start a new sentence. I is always capitalized, as are words like I'll and I'd. So whenever you're writing the word I, that doesn't need to be lowercase. It needs to be a strong I. It needs to be a capital letter when you're referring to that as well. Capitalize a proper noun. So things like Coventry. So a proper noun, so a name of a place or a name of a person, these need to have a capital letter as well. And capitalize a person's title. So there might be a Mr., Mrs. or Doctor or anything like that that might precede their name. This is going to be really important when you're thinking about writing a formal letter as well, because if you don't follow the correct conventions, you're not using the proper grammar, then that will seriously affect the mark that you get in the exam. Look at the sentences below and work out which words need a capital letter. So the first one says, Coventry is a wonderful place to live. I have lived here for the last 3 years. So we're going to go through the other two examples. As I do, if you want to spend some time looking through each one and thinking of which parts of the sentences do I need to have a capital letter for. Number 2, Tom and Sarah are going to get married in July. And the final one, I love English. Mr. Turner is the best teacher in the Midlands. So if you'd like to pause the video here and spend a bit more time going through it, that's fine. What I'm now going to do is I'm just going to highlight and indicate where we need to have our capital letter. So if we go back to number 1, so Coventry is a proper noun. So you can see there where I've highlighted the C, Coventry needs to have a capital letter. So it says Coventry is a wonderful place to live. Now because it's had that full stop, we know it's reached the end of that sentence. And as we know from the previous slide, whenever we end a sentence, the next word needs to have a capital letter. So the I will be a capital letter as well. So that one needs to be a capital letter. So I've lived here for the last 3 years. So those are the two main things that we need to identify in the first example. So we're moving on now to look at number 2. Tom and Sarah are going to get married in July. So the first one to think about is a name. So a name again is a proper noun. So both for the name Tom and for the name Sarah, both need to have a capital letter. When we move on for the rest of this sentence as well, it mentions a year of the month. So it mentions July in this case. So July is also a name. So it's a name of a key month, and it is one that we need to make sure that has a capital letter with it as well. So that's it for example 2. For number 3, I love English. Mr. Turner is the best teacher in the Midlands. So as we said before, I always needs to have a capital letter, and in this case would have a capital letter anyway because it's the start of a sentence. English would also need a capital letter because it is the name of a subject, it's a proper noun. The same when we look at Turner as well, it's a name, so again that needs to have a capital letter. Think back to what we did in the previous slide, you also need to have a capital letter when we're talking about a title. So anywhere where it says Mr. or Mrs, you'd need to have a capital letter. So the M there would also need a capital letter. So Mr. Turner is the best teacher in the Midlands. Again, Midlands is a region in the UK, so that too would need to be capitalised as well. So if you want to spend a minute, read through it yourself and make sure you understand why these key areas need to have capital letters. We're now going to move on and look at the next part that we need to learn for our grammar. So now we're going to move on and look at adjectives. So what are these and how do we use them? So the definition for an adjective is a word that explains or gives more detail to a noun. And again, a noun is a name, person, place, or an object. In order to make our writing effective, what we need to include are interesting adjectives. So these are words that describe a noun in an interesting or an exciting way. What we're now going to do, we're going to try and stretch and challenge ourselves. And we're going to look at a task on the next slide to actually try to put our understanding into practice. So hopefully now you understand what an adjective is. If you're still a little bit unsure, we'll go through the next part of the video and hopefully that will clear up any misconceptions that you might have. To show that we understand how to use adjectives, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at 4 different nouns on the left hand side. So these are the nouns we're going to look at. We've got Coventry, we've got a shopping centre, we've got chocolate and holidays. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about these nouns and we're going to then think about the adjectives we can use to describe them. So I'll do the first one. If you'd like to pause the video and have a go at this yourself, then you're more than welcome to do so. So Coventry. Again, this is my opinion, so you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but the adjective I'd select to describe Coventry is beautiful. It's a city that I think is full of culture and a very exciting, vibrant place to be. So beautiful would be the adjective I'd use to describe it. Now a shopping centre. A shopping centre is not something I particularly enjoy going to, so I'd probably use this adjective here, chaotic. If you're not sure what that word means, it means that it might be busy or hectic or quite loud or noisy to go around. The next one is chocolate. It's delicious. So again, delicious is referring to the taste, the enjoyment that people get when they have chocolate. And that would make the last one, holidays, will be exciting. So as you can see there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 adjectives on the right hand side. And I've tried to pair them up with the nouns that are on the left. Now if you disagree, if you don't think that Coventry is a beautiful place, or you don't think that chocolate is delicious, that's absolutely fine. All we're doing in this activity is getting used to understanding the effect of adjectives. So adjectives have been used here to help us describe the nouns on the left hand side. Now we're going to move on and look at conjunctions. So what are they and how do we use them? So these are words that are used to connect and link ideas together in a sentence. Some of the common conjunctions that you might have seen before are words like but, and, because, although, and however. So all of these are used to link our ideas. So you might think, I really enjoy chocolate, however, I don't like to eat it all the time. So you can see there how the conjunction has been used and works to link the ideas together. Now that we've had a chance to go through some of the key areas of grammar for the writing assessment, it might be a good idea to have a practice at a mini assessment. So the one that we're going to look at the moment is to write a paragraph about a recent holiday or day trip that you went on. In your response, you should use at least 4 adjectives to describe the holiday. Use capital letters when appropriate, and link your sentences by using conjunctions. If you're unsure about how to use any areas of these grammatical techniques, then look back at the previous parts of the video just to refresh your memory. If you're struggling or would like extra support in actually writing your response, then have a look at this student example to get you started. So we can see there on the other side it says, the last holiday I went on was amazing. The weather there was just beautiful. On my holiday I went to Spain. While there, I spent lots of time, and you can see there we've got ellipses, which to indicate that you can take that time now to carry it on and add your own thoughts and ideas. If you'd like any extra support or help, then new videos will be added every single week. Alternatively, you can always leave us a comment or visit our partner channel, Bookworm Teaching, for more lessons and guidance on all things English. Thank you guys, and best of luck with your revision.